Welcome back to halftime here on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. About to be joined by Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation. You can follow her on Twitter at Alyssa Orange, as she is joining us here now to talk all things Arkansas and SEC, as SEC Media Days is 6 days away.
Looks like her call dropped. I'm going to call her right back.
Well, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine, Maddie, because it gives me time to do one of these live readies things. And one of the best live reads that I can do is to promote myself. And I say that because I'm going to be on the road this week before SEC Medias. I'll be up in Harrison, and it's a perfect time for you to come see me, see what I look like in person, as we'll be doing a live show in Harrison from 11 to 1 at the grand opening of the new location of Wood Power Sports in Harrison. Come check out their great selection and new completely remodeled showroom. There's a huge selection of both new and pre-owned side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, dirt bikes, even lawnmowers. Find what you want in stock and take it home. So come see me and all those great products at the new Wood Power Sports in Houston, Friday, this July 15th at 608 Highway 62 and 65 in Harrison. I'll see you there. Alyssa.
Hell yeah.
Alyssa, we got you now?
Yes, I'm here, and I vote. Go see Drew. Do it. He's a nice guy.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, Alyssa, SEC Media Days is 6 days away.
Aw.
I know, Bella. I got Bella. We're running around the kids' museum at the moment, so you might hear some kids in the background.
That is perfectly fine, Alyssa.
We need more younger listeners.
We really do. We need to grow our brand. So make sure that
trying to recruit, guys.
Hey, we definitely appreciate it. So news earlier today about the representatives from each team. Any shock for the three guys, Jalen Cataline, KJ Jefferson, or Bumper Pool for Arkansas?
No, and I might have to burst your bubble. I knew that was coming out, so it wasn't a shock at all. And when I heard it a couple weeks ago that that's who was going to go, it just made the most sense. You have a guy like Bumper Pool who has represented Arkansas in this brand for the past 5 years, KJ Jefferson, and anytime you can bring QB1, you take him with you. And I think that's a really good symbolic thing for Arkansas, because if I believe, unless I am mistaken, maybe Austin Allen might have been the last quarterback to go to SEC Media Days for the Razorbacks, because he was a returning starter, and it made sense. So for them to bring someone like KJ Jefferson there to show, look, we have a QB1, this is our guy, and for him to represent Arkansas, I just think that speaks volumes. And then you got a guy like Jalen Catalon who'll be playing at the next league most likely, and people love his story. He's coming off injury, and so he'll have a lot of questions about what it's going to take for him to get back on the field and what his recovery was like. So really excited to see what these three guys have to say next week.
Mm-hmm. And I think KJ is going to be, out of all three of those guys, I think the most interesting kind of questions, not from, what we're going to ask him, but I think what he might get from a national standpoint, because I think KJ Jefferson's gotten a lot of love, from the national media, the national SEC media in the offseason. I've seen a lot of lists, because it is list season, having KJ Jefferson at 2 or 3 in the SEC. If you were going to make a list, would you have him that high, or is there still maybe some type of hesitancy? Can he put it together into back-to-back seasons?
Well, no, and I think these preseason ones are really about what you did last year anyways, and the projection for this year, and the way that KJ really kind of proved people wrong last year. That's the tone for what he's going to do this season. And obviously Bryce Young is the full-on number one if you were to put them in the preseason rankings, and he's the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, so it makes sense. But I think KJ proved that he can hang with anybody in the SEC and really in the country. So I would be surprised if we don't see him second team pre-SEC at the media voting by the end of the week.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of media voting, we've had, once again, like I said, it's list season, so you get all these predictions, all these different lists. And Sports Illustrated put out their list a few days ago, and they actually had Arkansas finishing 9-3, second in the West, I believe, tied with Mississippi State, which was kind of out of left field a little bit for me there, behind Alabama. When we get to media voting next week, Do you think that Arkansas will be in that same position? Do you think most people are that high on?
I bet they'll be up there. Here's the deal with that media voting, too. There are so many Alabama media. Now, it's usually in Hoover, so that makes sense. And a lot of times it's just a popularity contest. So Alabama's probably going to take number 1, and Georgia, but here's the thing. Arkansas, you put them at 2, you put them at 3. Shoot, you can even put them at 4. Arkansas fans right now, they understand that these votes really don't mean a whole lot, but they're tired of being 7th. Okay, and so I remember a couple of years ago when Brett Bielema his first SEC Media Days was like, pick a 7th. I don't care. We'll prove you wrong. And that's been that mentality for so long. But I feel like this Arkansas football program has kind of proved beyond that it's like, okay, we've proven that we don't belong at the bottom of the SEC West. Stop putting us there. We've proven this past year that we can play with anybody. So you're going to see Arkansas in that maybe 3, 4. I don't know if the SEC media will put them at 2 just because of, if history shows anything, you might not see that. But a 2 or a 3 or a 4 is where they should be if the voting has any kind of representation of what this team can actually do.
Now, outside of KJ Jefferson and just, talking about Jalen Catalon, what do you think are going to be some of the main storylines that people are going to want to find out from Sam Pittman and his players on SEC Media Days?
What are you doing with Malik Hornsby? I think it's going to be a big question. Your wide receiver group is going to be a big question. You got a lot of guys who transferred in, and that room is pretty good. Your backfield, what's that going to look like? And then your secondary. What is your secondary going to look like? And you've got so many names that a lot of those guys have talent, but outside of Jalen Catalon, they haven't played a lot of football. So that a girl. She's not very happy with my answer, clearly. But that's what I think you're going to get. And then maybe how the summer's been treating him on Lake Hamilton. Might get some fun questions like that, too.
Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest odds, news, and sports developments, including this year's Wimbledon Finals, Major League Baseball, the latest fighting news, and even next season's early NFL futures. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV to get the bonus and get into the action. Bet online, where the game starts.